Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are doing something different today. We're not reviewing food. We're not doing much. But we are going to do a top 20 list of my favorite album discoveries I recommend you listening to of August and July of 2019. So sit back, relax, chill out with me for a few minutes of your day, and hopefully you'll like these albums too. Okay, the first album on my list here is Paul Gilbert's Get Out of My Yard. So this is just fantastically produced. It's like Buckethead, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, all into one package, and you get Paul Gilbert. If you're into that kind of stuff, it's awesome, it's amazing. Like the first title track, the title track of the album, Get Out of My Yard, obviously. It has so many notes in this song. It's like space music almost. Like a space type of intro. And then it gets into the hurry up song. It just fades into that song so well. And then the Castle Dragon, the Curse of the Castle Dragon. Those songs just flow together so well. That's why it's my favorite off the album. So, if you want to check this album out, it's on Spotify, CDs, vinyl, wherever you listen to. Just go check it out. It's fantastically produced. I'm not sure why it's so low on my list, though. The last album on the chart. So check it out, and let's move on to the next one. The next album on my list is Foo Fighters' debut album, Foo Fighters, obviously. This one I didn't really kind of like. Just two songs like flowed to me so well. The others I just skip, don't care. Alone in the Easy Target and Ecstatic, like, those are good songs. I'm just saying. If you want to check this album out, it's on vinyl, CDs, Spotify, Google Play Music, whatever you listen to. Check it out. Definitely check it out if you're a huge Nirvana fan, or Foo Fighters fan, Dave Grohl fan, whatever. It's the album for you. Anyway, moving on to the next album on the list. The next album on the list is PJ Harvey's To Bring You My Love. This album, I've not heard all of this album. This was recommended by my friend Grady on Discord. Thank you for the recommendation. I've only heard the title track, To Bring You, the title track, and Down by the Water, and Working for the Man so far. I think the second song, not really familiar with it though. The vocals are soft spoken, the guitars, whatever they use, is just, it flows good. It's like relaxing music for the nighttime, you know? Relaxing music for the nighttime. I would listen to this probably at 7 or 8 at night, because it's got that flow that you just want to relax, chill out for a bit, and go to bed. This is an album to go to bed to. So I recommend Down by the Water, To Bring You My Love, and Working for the Man. So if Grady gets mad at me for this review of this album, shh, he has another album on this list too, coming up. Anyway, let's get on to the next album on the list. Okay, so the next album on the list is Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. So this album was recommended by my friend Psychedelic. He just has a great music taste, just overall great. He told me that Alanis Morissette, when I was listening to a lot of Jade Bird's albums and junk, the past 2 months.
That's why I've had my profile picture as Jade Bird like a few times on Instagram and Discord. I've just been enjoying the music, you know? Just sitting back, enjoying the music. So, Right Through You and You Ought to Know are my favorite tracks on this album, by far. It's great. The flow is just good. It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a good acoustic sound. It's just out there. It's out there. It's underrated, if you would say that. It's a little bit underrated, you know? Wish it was like more higher up, more people listen to Alanis Morissette. It's good. It's good stuff. If you want to check it out, it's on Spotify, Google Play Music, vinyl, CDs, whatever you use. Yeah. Check it out, and let's move on to the next album on the list, which is Grady's recommendation number 2.
The next album on our list is Grady's recommendation, Cat Power, Moon Pix. This album, it's like, it's got that PJ Harvey vibe, right? But it's a little bit different. It's flipped. It's flipped from that weird soft vocals. There's still soft vocals in this, but there's a little bit more piano in it. So, it's more of a, like, slow and mellow kind of vibe to this album. I love the piano, obviously. I love it. It's just flows good. Violin, cello as well. It's good. Just chill, laid back vibes. We are all about the chill and laid back vibes here on the Orion review show. Alright? So, my favorite songs on the album are Moonshiner and what was the other one? Colors and the Kids. These are great examples of what Cat Power has capable of capturing that piano, cello, chill vibe, you know? That is the greatest examples on the album of the chill, laid-back piano vibe. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you like piano, cello, whatever, I recommend Moonpix. It's a great album. Thank you, Grady, for your recommendation so I can recommend other people to listen to it. So, we're going to move on to the next album on the list. This one isn't really something that I've listened to in August and July. I've known about this album. Nirvana's Live and Loud. There's a bunch of classics on this, such as Rape Me, Breed, Blue, Scentless Apprentice, Heart-Shaped Box, etc. It's a classic album. They also released footage on YouTube like a few days ago. This is a brand new like re-release of this album. So if you want to check it out, it's now on Spotify, vinyl and CDs probably. Yeah, go check it out. It's a good album. And yeah, let's move on to the next album on the chart. I'm just gonna combine these two albums together, but this is Rory Gallagher.
Rory Gallagher. I've been waiting to talk about this so long on the channel. I just haven't had the time. So, Rory Gallagher, Photo Finish and Top Priority. You don't want to listen to these versions of the songs. I recommend listening to Shin Kicker live, Follow Me live, Shadow Play live, Philby live. Just listen to all the songs on this album live because he is out there. Because it's not the same. Guitar solos, the riffs, whatever you call them, it's just not the same as the live version of the song. I prefer the live versions over most of these songs because he's that good of a guitar player. I just, yeah, recommend Rory Gallagher. Go watch it on YouTube. All the live versions are on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. Great guitar player. I just recommend him. Just go check it out. Alright. Vinyls, CDs, Google Play Music, whatever you use. Go check out Rory Gallagher. Anyways, moving on to the next album.
Alright, the next album on our list is Tori Amos. The best songs on this album are Crucify, Precious Things, and Winter, in my opinion. Those just have the good vibes like Moon Pix, Cat Power, PG Harvey, and then Alanis Morissette. All in one. They're more like Alanis Morissette than Moon Pix and PG Harvey, to be honest with you. It's more like Alanis Morissette. They're even recommended next to Alanis Morissette on Last.fm. So, if you're into Alanis Morissette, check out Tori Amos. It's just got some good vibes. It's got some good cello and piano kind of vibes here. So, if you're into that, check out this album. Anyway, it's on vinyl, CDs, whatever you listen to, and yeah, just go listen to it, alright? Anyway, let's move on to the next album on the list. Okay, this is probably my favorite Chris Cornell solo album of all time. This is Euphoria Morning by Chris Cornell. This one has so many good songs on it, like, so many. I like Flutter Girl, Follow My Way, and then Preaching the End of the World. Those are just 3 of my favorite songs on this album. They're just all good in my opinion. There is a few like mellow songs in there, but it just gets awesome. It just gets awesome midway through with the Mission song, Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack song. They just put it in Mission Impossible. Called it Mission 2000 instead in the soundtrack. But it is called Mission. It's a good song if you want to go check that out. Really, just listen to the Chris Cornell album. It's on vinyl, CDs, whatever you listen to. Yeah. Go check it out, and let's move on to the next album on our list. So the next album is Are You Experienced by Jimi Hendrix. This one does not need an introduction at all. This is a great and fantastic record of all time. I recommend listening to May This Be Love, Purple Haze, Foxy Lady, and Fire. So check it out on vinyl, CDs, and whatever you listen to. Yeah, it's out there. It's really out there. Fantastic record. So the next album on the list is, alright, Bad Motorfinger. This is one of my favorite records of all time. My favorite song on the album is Outshine for sure. It's like my favorite Soundgarden song of all time. My second runner-up would be Slaves and Bulldozers or Jesus Christ Pose. Those are just my favorites off the album, is those 3. Jesus Christ Pose, Slaves and Bulldozers, and Outshine. I can listen to those so many times. Especially the Motorvision live versions. Man, his screams are just... It's just like... He doesn't get tired at all. Singing Soundgarden songs. Like, in his later years of... Because he died like a few years ago. The later years of Soundgarden, like, he would go over the top. He would still not be tired. Well, he'll be a little bit tired, but he could still manage to do the screams. For Bad Motorfinger's songs and the, what is it called? super Omega OK songs like, I can't think of it.
Beyond the Wheel and stuff like that. It's Chris Cornell. He's a legend. Legendary vocalist, legendary lyricist as well. He's smart. He's a genius up there. It's a great record. Check it out. Vinyls, CDs, everything. It's on Spotify as well. Anyway, on to the next album on the list.
Alright, so I'm gonna just combine all three of these albums together. Days of the New. Days of the New. This is like one of my favorite acoustic bands right now. Like, I know I've been listening to Alanis Morissette, Jade Bird kind of junk, but the sound on this, just those three albums, Days of the New, Definitive Collection, the live album, and then their first debut album, I'm just amazed by their sound. It's like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, the grunge scene in general, all combined into one acoustic sound. It's just crazy. He looks like Chris Cornell, but plays like Alice in Chains. Writes like Nirvana, has a little bit of Pearl Jam in there. It's just the whole grunge scene into one. Even though this was made in the late 90s, like post-grunge movement kind of thing. It's a great sound. My favorite songs by Days of the New right now are Touch, Peel, and Stand. That's just an absolute classic. The Downtown, The Shelf in the Room, and Words. Words is a good song. I like the live version better than the studio version because it's got a lot of weird effects in that one.
I still like it. I just prefer the live version over the studio. It's just a great song. Album. Artist. It's a great artist. Days of the New. The singer is Travis Meeks. He's like a drug meth addict now. He doesn't do music anymore. Which is kind of sad because the guy knows how to write music. Yeah. That's kind of sad that band didn't last that long. I think he's still alive. I believe so. He's like 45, the same age as my... no, he's like 40. Same age as my mother, I believe. Yeah. Moving on to the next album on the list.
I'm also going to have to combine this one. Gary Clark Jr.'s This Land and his live album. So, Gary Clark Jr. is like another guitar player I've been getting into recently. His tone is like so unique. It's like reggae, hip-hop, and blues all combined into one genre, making this mashup the most unique sound I've ever heard. I recommend you listening to Numb, This Land, Locked and Loaded, and Pearl Cadillac. Pearl Cadillac sounds like Prince a little bit. So if you like Prince, you'll like that song. It's like a really unique tone. Especially This Land, it has a great meaning behind it. It's a good album. It's a great meaning behind it. At least the title track. I don't know about the other songs. I haven't listened to all of them, but I've listened to a few. It's an overall fantastic album. I love Numb live on the live album. And then Train pulls in. He has a lot of good songs. I'm just saying, he has a lot of good songs that you can listen to. So check these two albums out. This Land and Gary Clark Jr. Live. It's on Spotify, vinyl, CDs, and whatever you listen to. So, there you go. check it out. I hope you like it, and let's move on to the next album on the list. Alright, the last two musicians on the list are Jade Bird and the Bangles. So I would not have gotten introduced to the Bangles if it wasn't for Jade Bird. Both versions are great. I really prefer the Bangles version though, but Jade Bird is she has a few good covers of songs like Alanis Morissette, for example. That's how I met Alanis Morissette, because I showed Psychedelic Jade Bird and he said she sounds like Alanis Morissette, so I met Alanis Morissette that way, and then I found Jade Bird's cover. All works out. Music is music. So I really love this album. I like Walk Like an Egyptian, Eternal Flame, and Manic Monday off that album. It's a great compilation album if you're into that. So, moving on from the Bangles, right? We got Jade Bird's EP and her debut album. So I really recommend you listening to Good Woman, Something American, Going Gone. That is Going Gone is like a road song, I don't know. It's like a fast, you're running from something, right? It's a good racing game, car game song, I would say. Like you're running from something. Going Gone is a good one. This song, right? By Jade Bird sounds like an acoustic version of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Alright? There's nothing wrong with that. I like it. It's a good song. I've listened to it like 200 times already. It's a great song. It's like one of the best on the album. Then there's a bunch of songs that sound like Adele, like 17, If I Die. She's using a little bit of Adele and like pop singers, like classical piano kind of vibes, like PG Harvey and what is it called? Cat Power. Tori Amos. It's all that. It's that mellow kind of piano vibe kind of music, dream pop, if you will. It's good. It's good. It's a great album. I give it a 7 out of 10. The EP is better though, in my opinion. It just has a few better songs on it, but overall, I love the album. I love the artists. They're great artists. I totally recommend you listening to all of these albums. Anyways, tell me what you think of the albums once you listen to all of them. If you heard any of these albums, tell me what you think of any of them on the list. And yeah, that's my 20 album recommendations of August and July of 2019. So there will be another one probably in a couple of months or next month. So leave your suggestions down below of any albums you want me to add in next month's review. Yeah. If you have not, join the Discord for music. Share your music tastes and junk. It's down below. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you next time in the next review show with Orion. Stay super chill as always, and have a great day.
Bye.